Why is it that people had no problem with a British samurai with an Irish accent fighting demons in Nioh, but suddenly lose their minds over Yasuke in Assassin's Creed Shadows? Assassin's Creed Shadows has been stirring up controversy ever since Ubisoft revealed its setting and characters. Some players are upset that Yasuke, a historical African samurai, is one of the game's protagonists. They argue that his inclusion feels forced or that it isn't historically accurate. But if we take a step back and look at how other games have handled historical fiction, this outrage is completely ridiculous. Take Nioh for example. The game follows William Adams, an Englishman who became a samurai in Japan. Like Yasuke, he was a real historical figure, but Nioh takes a lot of creative liberties with his story, adding demons, magic, and supernatural elements. Yet no one complained about historical accuracy when the game came out, because players understood it was a fictionalized version of history, not a documentary. This same narrative structure is present in Shōgun, where John Blackthorne, a character inspired by William Adams, experiences Japan through the eyes of an outsider. His journey is about understanding a foreign culture, surviving in a land where he doesn't belong, and ultimately finding his place. If audiences accept Shōgun and Nioh without an issue, why is Assassin's Creed Shadows being treated differently? The backlash isn't about historical accuracy, it's about selective outrage. Nobody watched Shōgun and asked, where are the demons William Adams fought in Nioh? Or why doesn't he have white hair? Why doesn't he have an Irish accent? Because we all know Nioh is a fictional game. Nioh used William Adams to present a foreigner's perspective in Japan, and Assassin's Creed Shadows is doing the same thing. Both characters are outsiders who must adapt to a new culture, earn respect, and find their place in a foreign land. One of the most classic storytelling narratives in history. When you think about it, the Assassin's Creed series has always taken the same approach. Every game is built around real historical events and figures, but they twist them into a story that's filled with twists, conspiracies, hidden blades, and secret societies. No one complains when the series rewrites history to fit its narrative, like making Leonardo da Vinci an ally of Ezio or having George Washington hold a piece of Eden. This franchise has always inserted fiction into history. Bayek wasn't a real person, but Assassin's Creed Origins still created a compelling story about the birth of the Assassin Brotherhood. Edward Kenway wasn't a real pirate, yet Black Flag is one of the most beloved games in the series. The focus has always been on crafting a thrilling historical setting, not an academic history lesson. Yet for some reason, Yasuke's inclusion has triggered backlash, despite the fact that he was a real historical figure who did live in Japan during the late 16th century. It's also important to note that Assassin's Creed Shadows isn't solely focused on Yasuke. The game features another protagonist, Nioh, a female ninja, giving players two perspectives to experience. But even if Yasuke were the only main character, it still wouldn't be a problem because the game is doing what Assassin's Creed has always done, blending history with fiction in order to create an engaging story. If people accepted Nioh's fictionalized take on William Adams without any issue, why is Assassin's Creed Shadows being held to a different standard? The backlash doesn't seem to stem from real concern about historical accuracy, it's just selective outrage. In reality, Yasuke is just as fitting for an Assassin's Creed story as any other historical figure the series has adapted. Other games have done the same thing, yet received little to no backlash. Ghost of Tsushima, for example, takes plenty of creative liberties with its historical setting, while still delivering a compelling narrative. Even Red Dead Redemption 2, a game praised for realism, takes artistic freedoms with history to enhance its freedom. Players have never demanded strict historical accuracy in video games because they understand that storytelling takes precedence over realism. So why is Assassin's Creed Shadows being singled out? If you look at the bigger picture, this controversy is less about history and more about selective criticism. Assassin's Creed has never been a history textbook, and players have never expected it to be one. Yasuke's story is a fascinating, underrepresented piece of history that fits perfectly within the Assassin's Creed universe. I myself never even knew he existed until recently, but I'm not going to assume everything he does in the game is historically accurate or that he actually did all of these things. So, instead of seeing his inclusion as an issue, players should embrace the opportunity to experience a new perspective within this franchise. If people truly cared about historical accuracy, they wouldn't be playing a game where assassins free run across rooftops and dive into haystacks and then walk off without a scratch. The Yasuke controversy isn't about history, it's about people choosing when to be outraged. If people can accept playing as a British samurai fighting demons in Japan, then they can accept playing as Yasuke. Thanks for watching the video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to see more content. See you guys next time.